hanging around with Steve Windley. Steve Winfield. Oh, that's just hardwired in here, man. Okay, listen, appreciate your time here today. I am kind of the low-tech guy here, and I'll tell you, after Phil's presentation, my head was back. I'm just hurting bad. I'm glad you guys all grokked that and understood that, but I was struggling with that. So what we want to do for this next hour is give you a taste of really the applications, seeing everything that goes on under the covers. We want you to see kind of that experience. Now, you've seen some of those today. We thought what we would do is give a couple of developers an opportunity to come up here, talk through their applications, kind of how they work. If you've got questions or whatnot, please raise your hand. We want you to ask those questions here, but hopefully this is a good brainstorming session that you will go away with some thoughts and ideas of apps or ways that you can implement the Kynetx rule language based on some of the things that we're going to show you today. So you guys have heard us, or maybe you've heard the name Jam. Well, we have before us Jesse Morris. His nickname is Jam. I think he did get, or should have gotten the award for the youngest person here. He's 17, still going to high school, and Steve Foley has kind of corrupted him in a good way.
Hey, be careful, his dad's back there.
Yeah. But he's surrounded by good people. But Jesse's done some great things. So he's going to show a couple of card applications, and again, you got questions through this process, holler, and we will step through, and Jam, it's yours right now.
All right, just to give everybody a little bit of context, when I came to work for Kynetx, it was an internship. Actually, I took a friend, or a girl on a date to prom, and I went to pick her up, and her dad was there, and she wasn't ready yet, so me and her dad started talking, and he got me the internship here at Kynetx. So when I first started...
From his daughter?
Repeat the question.
To keep him away from his daughter?
No, not quite.
Make sure you can support her. She won't date geeks.
Anyways, when I first started working here at Kynetx, I had no idea what JSON was. I had no experience programming JavaScript at all. I was fresh on the whole web programming scheme, or whatever you want to call it. So a few weeks, why isn't this working now?
It goes to sleep every once in a while, so wiggle your mouse around.
My monitor's on here. Anyways, a few weeks after I had started working there,
Good key.
No, unplug and plug back
Unplug and plug it back in. It doesn't wake up sometimes when the computer does.
anyways, we had this great idea for a bookmarklet deployed app. We had made some applications that used bookmarklets, but they were mostly just demo apps, and we didn't have anything that really demonstrated the power of a bookmarklet. So we developed an app called Sweeter. What it does is it takes the domain of the page that you're currently on, and it looks it up on a system called Backtweets. They have an API that I call, and then it will display those in a notify, display the recent tweets that apply to that domain. So, as you can see, I have a lot of apps here. I am always doing something new, it seems. So here's Sweeter. The rule is actually fairly simple, except for the fact that to generate the dates, saying 3 hours ago or 8 hours ago, I had to do quite a few calculations with that, obviously. So really, the app could be done in about this much right here, that much. But because of all the other stuff, we get into things like this, and so there's some nastiness in there. But if we didn't have to do the times, it would be a much simpler application. Apparently you can't see it, but off to the left here, there's a global block.
Maximize your browser.
Maximize my browser.
Green button, yeah. There you go.
So it was maximized, but we'll move it over a little.
There you go.
Anyways, there's the global block here. This is where I declare my data source. This is where it's searching Backtweets with my API key. And then in the back tweets rule, it calls the back tweets data source with the domain that I'm currently on. So that does basically all the hard nitty-gritty, what would otherwise be an AJAX call or something to that effect, in literally 2 lines of code. So just to let you see the Sweeter app in action, I click on the bookmarklet there, and it does all it's looking up. It shows some nice tweets and a nice little notify, and there you have it. I mean, literally, it could literally be done in probably 10 lines of Kynetx code. And keep in mind, this was 2 weeks after starting there, and I had no knowledge of JavaScript or JSON or anything. So, obviously, Kynetx applications are extremely easy to develop, and I mean, they're really powerful. Another application that I had once built is if you went on Netflix, it would search Blockbuster's website. It would grab your location through GeoIP and search Blockbuster's website and scrape their page and bring back results if there was that movie at a local Blockbuster. Well, Blockbuster changed some things and it broke, and we decided that that wasn't a very good use of Kynetx. And so we decided to come up with a slightly different use. I don't know how many of you are familiar with ClearPlay. It's a service around here, or it's a service that allows you to play DVDs in their own custom DVD player, and it will skip over the bad parts automatically for you. So normally you would have to look up the movie on Netflix, figure out which one you want, and then go to their website and say, okay, I want this one, is it available through your guys' filter? But with, well, here, I'll show you it in action first. With Kynetx, if I go to, I don't know, somebody yell out a random movie.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. I don't know what there is to filter in that, but that's up to whoever decides that. So we go to the Princess Bride movie page, and as you can see, right inside the page, it pops up with the ClearPlay logo and makes everything look nice, and gives me a link to the page where I can then see that on their website. Again, this rule was also extremely simple to build. I have about 4 different things, so that way, you know, on the Netflix member page, it'll do something different. It also works on IMDb, so that way, if you're just browsing titles in general, you can see if it's available at ClearPlay or not as well. So, in our global one, again, we have a data source. And this just basically gets the title of the movie, so that way it knows what the movie is. And then here, this is all the HTML that makes things look nice and formatted well. Again, the total work amount is done in the 2 lines of code in the global, and then the 2 lines of code right there at the very top. Other than that, it's all mostly just formatting and making sure that everything looks good in HTML. Any questions?
So what do you guys think of the ClearPlay card? So the interesting thing about that is it gives an opportunity to actually aggregate 2 separate web experiences into a single web experience, and you as the user, as a ClearPlay user, opt in and say, that's the experience I want. Any questions for Jesse on either 2 of these apps?
He's not for hire.
Okay, good. Another round of applause for Jesse. Thanks, Jim. Okay, you've seen this guy. Sam Rides 1,000 Miles is a card, an application that he put together. It has a little bit different twist, but we're going to let Sam talk through it. One thing, Jesse, give me your mic. Oh, you got it. One thing I told Sam, we were on the call the other